Welcome back to Let 'em Run for
Hey,
this
I'm right there.
Saturday, May 24th. Fred has left, so it's just me today.
Hey, welcome back, Sean. How was your trip, bud?
Oh, nah, it only depends on how my team does, and we're terrible, so
Oh,
and
really? No good,
Bilbao.
then. No good.
The lesser said about Bilbao. I know I have some people watching on my Twitter right now that were in Bilbao with me, and
Oh, really?
sleeping in stairwells on Wednesday and
What?
whatnot. Yeah, well,
Whoa.
when you have two taxi cabs for 60,000 people, it's not the optimal situation. So it's
So, was there any good soccer at all while you're out there? Any good soccer?
I saw a decent game on Sunday. As a New Year, I just went to watch. It was West Ham and Nottingham Forest, but
Okay.
uh,
Well, it's good to have you back. Good to have you back.
thank you.
How
So
you like my new setup? You like I'm working on my studio. Got to get a little better lighting, but got some serious Carolina Panther stuff going on in the background. I know I'm from New Jersey, but I'm a big Panther fan.
yeah. No, it's you got the stuff there, and it's looking good. We got the studio. We're gonna keep building it after. Maybe we get a bomb in the Belmont or something like this, and
There'll be no bombs. There's only six horses, and there's only six horses in the Belmont. A lot of them just packed it in, and it's crazy. Well, we'll get to that when we get closer to that. But yeah,
man, I've been out of the loop because I've been
Sure.
6 hours ahead. That's really, really disheartening.
We had this discussion a little while ago about the whole timing and the spacing of the races. If they're going to spread them out a little further, would that help enhance? You go from 20 horses, 19 in the Derby, potentially 20. The Preakness was down to 9 horses, and now you got 6. That's ridiculous. It's terrible for the horse racing. I understand the trainers are making the decisions, but yeah.
To be honest, I mean that's like if I was, I guess if I was NBC right now, I'd be furious. It's crazy, and you're gonna get basically. I'm just looking at the odds. I just picked it up. Sovereignty and Journalism are both 8-5.
Yeah.
Beza's 7-2, Rodriguez 6-1, and then you got Hill Road 10-1 and Heart of Honor 20-1. Who's going to probably go off at 100-1 by the time the race starts. So, but that's a couple of weeks.
Yeah, everybody's looking at that as like a quote, like a match race between Sovereignty and Journalism. They're just thinking that's why everybody's going to watch it. But that doesn't get me excited. And I know a lot of the guys I talk to and the handicappers I listen to and watch. They're calling that particular race itself. It's not even bettable. I mean, you're not going to be able to make a whole lot of money on that race, but it's a leg of the Triple Crown. I understand that it's the third leg of the Triple Crown. So, we got to give it some credo for that, so to speak. It still has that element to it, just not the same without having a big field, having some interesting horses in there. And again, Beza's an interesting horse. Coming in, rested up. They might say that horse is going to get the lead and go all the way, but time will tell, and we'll have a little more time. Although, Sean, what is interesting, what I'm going to be very interested in, and a lot of my handicapping buddies who watch the races, I know we've talked about this horse before. We probably even bet him on our website, on our podcast, talked about Carson's Run. Big turf horse, Tommy Tramontana, one of the guys over at the Hybos, has big part ownership in this, and that's a big $1 million turf race right before the Belmont race. So it's kind of cool to watch that race. And that horse, Carson Run's a good horse, has already 2 Grade 1 wins. This could be another win for him, Sean. So that would be kind of cool.
So that's not for a little bit. This week we're going back to Gulfstream. We're starting at race 7 for the 5.5 furlong synthetic, claiming $8,000 race. Not the greatest race of all time, but it's the first race of Pick 5. Goes off at 4:04 Eastern. 5 is scratched. Elagio. So 9 horses in the race. All right. I looked at Sports Talk Florida today, and a little different way to do it. You know, your top pick is the 7 Cap Ferrat.
5-2.
Joseph, 5-2. Gonna go off either him or New Diamond is probably gonna go off as a favorite, and then you have contenders Elagio and New Diamond. So you want to talk about this race here?
Well, it's kind of interesting too. Yeah, I love Cape Front. Jockey, yesterday at Gulfstream Park, Edgar Zayas won 4 races. He won the first 3, race 1, race 2, race 3. Took a break in race 4 and won race 5. Amicio Jaramillo won a couple races. Gonzalez. So the big names, if you will, the big names down there in Gulfstream Park did very well yesterday. So we've got to look for them to do well again, which is why again I picked the number 7 Cap Fred, Safi Joseph Jr., Edgar Zayas. When they get together, you're going to look for A. It's going to be a short price. B, you're going to have a very likely winner. There's no doubt about that. And also, this horse won very impressively. It's only his 3rd race, the 7 horse. It's only his 3rd race. He's lightly raised, got a lot of room for improvement. His first race, he won very impressively in a high-level maiden special weight race at 7 furlongs. Pretty much wired the field with some good fractions. And so I think he's going to take to this race and possibly, take him wire to wire. It's a short race, 5.5 on synthetic. He hasn't run on synthetic yet, but that doesn't bother me. I think Safi Joseph Jr. really stands to know how to put a horse in the right place. The other horse that we liked, scratched, Elagio, the 5 horse, he scratched. So that pointed me towards another horse that we're going to take a look at and take the place of that horse, and that's going to be the 4 horse Lilybird. This horse is kind of interesting because the horse has some speed. Raj Marag is getting on him for his brother, Colin Marag, the trainer. And this trainer, Colin Marag, has some decent stats. Second after the claim, and this is the second time for this horse running for Marag, hits at 44%. I mean, a small sample, 9, but second after the claim, he gets him under his belt once. Second time around, he knows what to do with him. So, and he's putting his brother on him, who came out of the broadcasting booth to get back in the saddle again. So that's kind of interesting. So I'm putting that 4 horse in the mix due to the scratch of the 5. And then the other horse that we liked is number 2, New Diamond. 3-1 morning line, being trained by Victor Barboza, good trainer down there at Gulfstream Park. Taking a class drop, looks to be better on synthetic, which is what this horse is getting back to. So those are the horses I kind of like. And Sean, you pointed out earlier, if I may interject a little bit here, we and the format you put together for the article that was posted today on Florida Sports Talk, where we had our 1 horse wonder pick, which we did on Thursday night, is our top pick. We're just wondering why is he our top pick. That's how the 1 horse wonder comes into be. So I want to make it clear. We have a top pick in every race. We're not putting 3 horses out there, and if one wins, we say we had the winner. No. Okay, we're together on that, right, Sean?
Yes. Saved.
Okay,
that's correct.
Beautiful.
But you could say, hey, listen, we had, we told you that to look at New Diamond, and New Diamond won, so that's there. But while we said it, we think Cape Frat's going to win. Cap Frat. We also like New Diamond and told you not to leave them out. Something like that.
Absolutely. But I do want to make sure that I take the opportunity to say, okay, this is my top pick, and we did that in every race here. So
yeah, what's a 1 horse wonder? Some have asked in the story. The story says, it's my best bet of the race, the one I'm zeroing in on based on everything I'm seeing in the form, replays, workouts, and vibes. This is what we're discussing today. Whatever, after we break down the scratches. However, that's what the 1 horse wonder is. Thursday nights, tune in to watch that 1 horse wonder thing.
Thursday night.
Thursday. Yes, Thursday night.
You just got back from a long trip. You just got in a little time change. I got you.
I don't even know what day it is. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. But Thursday,
Monday, Wednesday.
Make sure you're watching because it's going to give you basically on Thursday night. You'll get to see the main horse we're going to zero in on Saturday. So that gives you a little bit of stuff to Friday when you're starting to look through your program for Saturday here. Hey. This is what you should be looking at, maybe building your bets around and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So, race 8.
Yep, let's go. Move on.
436. The 1 is scratched, so there's 6 horses in this. 7.5 furlongs turf, optional claiming $62,000 race. Top pick is Like the King. Go 9-2. Sorry, early in the morning line, and your contenders. Obviously, one of them is scratched, which is unfortunate because it was 30-1 on the rail, and I think might have gotten a little play there. But Grand Mo the first, shout out to Prodigal Mo, who's hopefully watching here. But first of all, when you see one of your 30-1 horses scratched that was kind of a live runner, it's always like a little disheartening because then everything else in the race is like 7-5, 9-2, whatever. But that actually could have added some value to any of your part of your tries, your exactas and stuff like this.
Well, that horse, the one horse, Northern Flame, who scratched, he raced on turf for the first time, his last time out. And apparently he liked it because he cut off some pretty decent fractions in the longer race, a mile and 16. They're calling it a sprint. It's a 7.5 furlong race. They call it a 7.5 furlong sprint. He had some speed. He had some rest. He worked out really well. I'm gonna put that horse in my virtual stable to watch him in the future. However, we always say this, that when the reason we do this show on Saturday at 12:30, Sean, we talked about this, is the scratches come out, and the scratch of that one, while he was one of our picks, helped me to fall on another horse that now I think could be the lone speed in this race. If you look at the 5 horse, Tap It, Kiss It, Win It. Okay, he's 6-1 now. Another horse by Mark Casse. Mark Casse has 2 horses in this race. He has the 3, Like the King, who's the horse we picked as our number 1 pick. Azias, again, jumping on this gelding for Mark Casse, great trainer, often runs horses up at Woodbine, and brings a lot of horses down here to Florida and Gulfstream. This horse is working out like a champ to get ready for this race. And with the scratch of the 1, Sean, again, while that takes away one of our big value plays, and I love that horse, I'm going to keep an eye on him, like I said, in our virtual stable. It makes me add this number 5 horse to our list of contenders in this race, because I think he becomes the speed of the speed. And I think the jockey knows that. Edwin Gonzalez knows that. I think Mark Casse knows that. So you're going to see this horse, and he's been working out really, really well, putting up some 47-second plus 4 furlong workouts. He's ready to go. And trust me, the scratch of that 1 makes that horse feel like he's going to go to the front and stay there, Sean.
Yeah, that's interesting. Obviously, once again, horses scratch sometimes and stuff gets changed, and you have to adapt and see what goes on. And sometimes it makes your stuff a little more clear. Race 9, 508, 5.5 furlongs, another short race, synthetic, claiming 10,000. Another scratch here. The 8 has scratched on its name, so there's 8 horses. And Hearts wins the trophy and penalties over Celtic. Celtic, man! Anyone's watching on at the Hibernians, man, is crying at this point. The Celtic just lost to Hearts and penalties. What is going on?
Is that an upset, Sean? I don't know anything about it. Is that like an upset?
Massive upset. Yeah, that's a massive upset.
Not just an upset, a
Massive.
massive upset. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's great for Scottish football because you can't have the same team winning everything all the time.
Okay. Cool.
It's good though. Not good for the Hibernians. All right, so back to this. Fortuna Bella 2-1. The 8 that scratched was another bomb, 20-1, longest sides in the field, or second longest sides in the field. Your contenders here, Chloe's Toy and Lita 1 and 2. Talk your way through this race.
Yeah, I think the number 6, Fortuna Bella, being trained by Rohan Crichton, a good underrated trainer there at Gulfstream Park, gets a lot of winners home. Again, I think this horse very much looks to be the speed of the speed in this race in a 5.5 furlong sprint. I think he's going to get out. I have a pretty good feeling he's going to stay out front. Again, with Edwin Gonzalez, a very aggressive jockey. The horse loves Gulfstream Park. He's won 5 times out of 14 times there. The distance, he's won 4 times out of 10 times. He's very good on synthetic. 2-1, okay. A lot of people are going to probably pick that horse as their top pick. So be it, because I think that horse has every chance to win this race. And there's a lot of horses in this race you could make a case for, which is why the number 1, Chloe's Toy, our second choice or our contender, is 7-2. And the number 2 horse, Lita, is 5-2. So again, these horses are all being looked at as more or less most of the horses having a chance to win. But again, I like the 1-2 trainer Amador Sanchez, 21% first off the clean, gets a lot of winners, and is getting the hottest jockey in Gulfstream Park right now, Edgar Gonzalez on him, Edwin Gonzalez to ride. And this horse is a horse that's been claimed a lot, which usually means the horse has a lot to offer. He gets claimed quite a bit. And then the number 2 horse, Lita. Again, one of my favorite jockeys down there jumps on him. Who is that? Jaramillo. Emilio Jaramillo likes this horse. And I think he gave him a nice ride last out, and he's dropping back into this level. So he's got a pretty good chance to win. So again, you could almost make a case, Sean, in this race for almost every horse in the race. Even the 8 scratch, he was kind of a bomb. The 5 is 30-1. The 3 and 4 are 10-1, 8-1. So there's lots of horses in here you can make a case for, but we made a case for those horses. And again, I like my number 1 pick, the number 6, Fortuna Bella, because I think he's the speed of the speed. He got an aggressive jockey on him, Sean.
The next race is a little bit better race. Race 10, 540 Eastern, 7 furlongs on dirt. It's called the Big Drama Handicap. It's $75,000 race. 6 horses, the 7 scratched. But it is a little bit. I think the horses are a little bit better. There's obviously more money at stake, and there's some decent horses. Dilger, the Irish horse with Zayas on him, is the favorite at 9-5. But you got Air Combat at 5-2. You got Shaq Diesel ready to dunk on people at 7-2. Other Revolution 4-1. It's a couple bombs, 15-1, 21 pure class, and Life is Precious. But look, once again in these races, and I think when you see the odds, I know you do this before the odds come out. When you see the odds, you're like, 95, 7-2, 5-2. But if these horses come in, if you have a tri-box or something like this, or trying to, you get a 4-1 horse, a 7-2 horse, and a 5-2 or whatever. I mean, you're still going to make some money. So
sure.
Just
again,
why is Dilger your favorite?
Well, first of all, he's got the combination of Edgar Zayas and Safi Joseph Jr. combining in a stakes race. That number 1 gives them a reason why that horse was given the morning line favorite of 9-5. I think this horse is sitting on another big race. He races very well. He raced in the Grade 2 Carter last out. That's a big time race. That was 7 furlongs up in Aqueduct, which you're going to get a lot of good horses up there, of course. And he kept himself in the race the whole way. Just couldn't close the deal. So I think that's why he is being given the 9-5 morning line favorite. Again, anytime you're going to combine Safi Joseph Jr. and Edgar Zayas together. You're going to get a very low morning line. And again, the number 6, Air Combat, very consistent runner. Again, one of my favorite jockeys. I love Jaramillo. This horse loves Gulfstream Park. 3 for 3 at Gulfstream Park, and he's looking to win 5 in a row. Sean, he's won 4 in a row. Looking to win 5 in a row, stepping up in class a little now. But don't think that horse is out of the mix with this. So we've got to keep an eye on him, as you mentioned, the number 4, Shaq Diesel. This horse really loves the 7 furlong distance. Gets jockey Vasquez he wants to keep him up there with the front runners. He's not going to be coming from way in the back, but I think that horse has another shot as well. So those are the 3 horses I like in that race. It's going to be a good race. Again, this is another race where you could make a case for almost every horse except maybe, even the 5, 20 to 1. That horse, coming from Tampa, Daniel Centeno, one of the better jockeys down in Tampa, just one of the better jockeys, clear, just point blank. That horse came in third, first, second. He's always in the money. I mean, last time he raced in a $100,000 claiming race, this is a $75,000 stakes race. Certainly not way off the mark, and he's 20 to 1. So I didn't put him in as my top contender, but if you're looking for a price to put with any of the top contenders that you might like, I wouldn't leave the 5 out of either a try or an exact or even a superfecta if you're looking to kind of score on something like that. That horse, I think, has a shot. The number 5, Life is Precious.
Yeah, I think, when you start to get these bigger races where the money's a little bit more on offer, you get a little bit better class of horse, and any of these horses could probably go in there and do it.
Sure.
Final race of the pick 5, race 11, 6:11 Eastern times, 1 1/16 miles on turf, optional claiming, 25,000. There are all 10 horses are in right now. No one has scratched. One of the people I studied in college, named after, I see you like that horse a little bit, Malcolm X. They tried to shut down the place where he got shot. My Columbia University tried to shut down the place where he got shot, and they barricaded themselves in the building. That was my first semester on campus. I couldn't take a final at
You were there at Columbia? You were there at Columbia at that time?
Yeah, that was 1992. My first semester on campus was the 500th anniversary of Columbus discovering America. So Columbus Day was probably I was 6 weeks on the campus, and that was a absolute, when I say shit show, they were throwing red paint on it was crazy.
Really?
I was, what the hell? I mean, Columbia is you see what's going on in the news. And then tried to turn the place where he got shot, which was right down the street from the campus, into science labs, and they took over the building in December, and they wouldn't come out for days. And they said, "Listen, if you come out, we'll talk to you. We'll give your, we'll hear your demands, whatever." They all came out. The cops beat him up, arrested him, and they threw him out of camp. Threw him out of school.
Wow! I mean, I know a little about the history, but you were there. That's awesome. That's crazy.
Yeah. I was there for that. It's a monument. It's not a monument.
Sure.
It's weird to say because he got shot there, assassinated there.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
They own the building. They turn it into science lab. This is another fact about Columbia. I'm not sure if you knew this. They are the second largest landowners in the city behind the Catholic Church.
I did not know that, but I knew about the Catholic Church up there, but I didn't know about Columbia.
Malcolm X here, a Peruvian horse, 10 to 1, is one of your sleepers with serious turf works and with a huge bullet workout on the board. Obviously, your top pick is Beach Gold here, and you looked at Spy Hunter, but it's hard to ignore that bullet workout, right?
Absolutely. This horse has raced before, in North America. It's a second race in North America. So he's been acclimated here. He's not coming in. I always get a little leery if a horse comes in, whether it's a Peruvian horse or Brazil or wherever they come in from, and it's the first time that they're here, then you have to give them a little time maybe to get acclimated. But this horse has been working out in Palmetto since February 23rd, and then had a race in April. And after that race, put in, like you said, a super solid workout on the turf at 46 seconds. So I use the word wild card. That race that he ran last time, it was just like a workout. Perez now knows what he's got under the hood. So that horse I call that horse a live long shot. But the top choice, number 6, Beach Gold, trainer Patrick Biancone, finally got this horse into the winner's circle 2 back. Took him a while to break his maiden, but again, we use this term like the light bulb maybe went off in this horse. Now he knows how to win. He got a taste of winning. He likes to win. And Patrick Biancone put him a little bit in the deep end of the pool, so to speak. Horse didn't run bad, but I think it was just in over his head last out in a $119,000 allowance race at Keeneland. So Keeneland, there's going to be lots of quality horses down there. And now he's putting him back into a level where he belongs, an optional claiming 25. He's not up for claim. He's a 3-1 morning line. He's putting a jockey on him, Ocasio, who's it's his only mount. I always like the only mount angle. And, he's been ridden by some really serious jockeys before: Ditorio, Saez, Alvarado, Bravo, Lopez, Drayden Van Dyke. So this horse has been around with some good jockeys. So I think at the price of 3-1, if he stays anywhere near that, you're going to be getting a real bonus at 3-1 on that horse, because I think this horse, once he found out how to win 2 back, is going to stay a winner. And also, I like the number 8, Spy Hunter. We talked about how horses go to the front. Jaramillo likes to go to the front, but I think he found this horse the last time out. He found like a little rating gear on him. He found out he could rate him a little bit and then stay up with the front runners, then have something in the tank when they come around to close at, again, a long distance on the turf, 1 mile and 16th. So there is another horse that, when I studied this a little bit more this morning, after I looked at the scratches, and again, as you mentioned, there's no scratches in this race, so it's a nice big field of 9 horses. I kind of looked at a little bit deeper at this number 9 horse, Dear Dad, trained again by a good trainer, Mark Casse. Looking a little closer, this horse has some serious speed. He ran last out on synthetic, showed some really good numbers as far as speed goes. He is the number 1 prime power, and I did not have that information. And when I went into Brisnet and checked it, I said, ooh, okay. Number 1 prime power, 6-1, trained by Mark Casse, possibly the lone speed in the race. Again, talk about sizzling workouts. The last workout he had at Palmetto was 46 seconds and change for 4 furlongs. So I would add that number 9 horse into your top 4 horses, 6, 8, 3. I mean, again, I think the 6, if you're going to do a bet here, I would put the 6 on top as your key on top with the 3, the 8, and the 9 underneath, and look at that to be a good payday, because I think those horses are all going to be in the mix, and that's how I see this race coming to be, Sean.
Big metaphysical race. If you're a fan of the big metaphysical things, this is a big race. You Bless America, Malcolm X, obviously assassinated. 2 horses named after gold: King Doro, Beach Gold, and of course, Mr. Crowley, who was initiated into the OTO, Ordo Templi Orientis, which I am a member of, and who says, "Do as thou wilt shall be the whole of the law." I don't know if you knew that or not, Fred, but
I did not know that, Sean. Once again, I usually learn one new thing from you on every podcast. That's the new thing I learned today, and I'll give you a little Sean shout out for that, because I learned.
It's interesting too with these races. I mean, when you see these, you see that turf workout and those bullets, and you see a Malcolm X who's probably not going to go off at 10-1, maybe could go off at 15-1, or maybe could, who knows what, could drift out a little bit. And you see, that might be a horse I may throw, a little, $10 to show on, or something like this, or maybe 5 across the board or something like this. Hopefully finishes second, at a decent number. So, once again,
that's a good point. He's likely to go off at more than 10-1, because again, the connections of Safi Joseph and Patrick Biancone, the trainers that are in there, the trainer who's training that horse, not as well known. Perez is a good jockey. People will know him, but I just think that horse will go off. But on the note of the pick 5, and I will put a pick 5 play together. I'll put it up on X to show you what my pick 5 play would be. This is the kind of race where you put a horse like that in your numbers. That, let's say, use a 3 at a price, because if he comes in, the pick 5 will pay. That's why I like that horse in the previous race at 30-1. Probably, if he doesn't win, maybe you'll get paid if you played him across the board. But again, another horse to use in your pick 5 to try and get some value out of a pick 5. And I think this particular sequence of the pick 5 at Gulfstream Park has an opportunity for some value with some of these other horses that are kind of live horses, particularly in some of the legs, more so than others. I think 3 of these legs, including this 11th race, have some value in them in the sequence of a pick 5. 2 of the other legs, probably, like I said, you can make a case for almost every horse in those 2 races. So we'll see how it shakes out, Sean. And then again, with our new little format here, let's wish some good luck with the new studio here. People asked a little quick question. Let me just show something here. Now, I got the Hibernian of the Year. That's what this says. It's a bottle of Jack Jim Beam Red Stag that the guys got me. It says, "Congratulations, Hibernian of the Year," on it from my friends over at the Hibernian Club. They put it together for me, and 2 of the guys who did it were my colleagues from Hamilton PT, Rob and Chris. That got it for me, so I want to put that up there on my little memorabilia shelf, Sean.
That's nice. I'm surprised it isn't finished yet.
I knew you were going to say that, but it could be today. Could be the day. Then we'll see.
Yeah, it's that's people were asking me why I didn't stay for it's obvious I think we talked a little bit about this. Obviously, I got back yesterday. Today was the biggest game in all of world. Obviously the Champions League finals next weekend, but this game today, Sunderland and Sheffield United, that was in Wembley in London, is the biggest. They call it the biggest game in world football because the winner is guaranteed £250 million, which is about $400 million, guaranteed.
What?
Yeah, because if you win, you go to the Premier League next year, and if you go to the Premier League, basically you're making you're guaranteed, even if you go up and for 1 year and you don't win one match, you're guaranteed about $150 million, which is probably close to about $200 million, $220 million. And then what happens is the next year when you go back down, you get a little bit of parachute payments to help you because you have to pay more for players when you go up.
Wow.
And so they want people to come.
That's
so
unbelievable.
It's a massive. I mean, it's the biggest game in the world. So it just happened. So I could have stayed and watched that, but it's a holiday weekend here. I know a lot of people are watching right now on
Sure.
Specifically on my X. I can see now there's about 80 people watching on mine, and Jim has some on his. But so that's some people. It's a big holiday weekend here, so
I hope everybody's doing. Shout out to our fallen soldiers. We want to remember them on Memorial Day, and God bless and thank you for your service. And then they always say that some gave all, and there's a saying that they talk about all gave some and some gave all when they talk about our fallen soldiers. And so we remember them this weekend. And thank you for your service and keeping this free so we can do the things like we do, like this podcast, and go to the racetrack and check out all the good times. So God bless.
Just remember, if you're watching in England, we celebrate this weekend because we are the greatest country on earth, and we are 2-0. And I don't care what anyone says. You want to say, well, the War of 1812 was a draw. You didn't take us back. We beat you 2-0 against England all the time. America, greatest country on earth. So stick that in your pipe. But we will. But thanks to all the soldiers for everything you do. Y'all keep us safe and everything. And once again, it's a great country, and it allows me to go and travel to other countries and
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sometimes, if you're in sometimes when you're in these other countries, they don't let you do that. So, you have to take stuff for granted. And
that's when
races.
Yep.
All right, so we will see you Thursday night. I think it might just be Fred this week, and then after that, it'll probably be me again going on Thursdays because
Well,
believe
Sean,
that.
I missed you. I enjoyed doing these podcasts. We add a little something together when we do it together. So welcome back again. I look forward to seeing you, and we'll round out our winners here on the review
Right.
preview that we'll do on Florida Sports Talk after this completes the day at Gulfstream Park with hopefully a lot of winners. So good luck to everybody. Thanks for watching, and God bless.
Thank you. God bless.